Welcome back. Clocks on the Stove, episode 112. A little sports, everything NFL, college, and MMA for this past week, I would say, like week wise. For the past week, everything we're going to talk about, dive into, think that you should know. Usual host, myself, Grayson Fisher, with me, Mr. Zachary Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's dive in. We actually don't have too much, but we got enough. So that's all that matters. Start us off with our NFL. CJ Stroud is breaking the Ohio State quarterback curse, Zach. He is literally breaking it, doing it as a Texan. It's crazy too because there's so many, I've been getting so many CJ Stroud not memes, compilations of him, compilations, right? How do you say it?
Complete. Now I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, they're like highlights videos of people, of announcers and analysts shitting on him going into the draft, shitting on him this, and then just him hooping, just straight up hooping. I don't want to rush it because I'm a big believer and you got to do it more than once to be great. So, just one season isn't enough. But damn, he's looking good, dude. He's got them winning games. My question for you is, Zach, do the Texans use him to build the dynasty, or do they Texans it and get rid of him for some undervalued draft picks, most likely?
I would love to think
overvalued.
I would love to think that as an organization, you would learn from your mistakes and not make them twice. However, history is doomed to repeat itself. So, I'm not going to say what is or what isn't going to happen. I would really hope for CJ Stroud to build a successful career in Houston. I do think he has all the potential, and they do have weapons to help build around him. So I don't think their rebuild is going to take that much longer anymore. Once you've established your franchise piece, you can build around that. You know what you're missing at this point. Wherever his flaws are, you work to improve that. And he doesn't make a lot of them. The one thing I'm starting to hop on, and whether it be a little much of a hot take, maybe not, I do think if the Texans make the playoffs and win a playoff game, how is he not in the MVP conversation? How is he not? If he brings them,
that's how we're feeling.
If he brings them to a playoff and wins them a playoff game, how are you not the most valuable player to your team?
Who is no, that is a great point. Who is in the leading run right now for playoffs? Do we know, or is it too early?
I mean, they throw names out there, but they haven't come out with a list for betting odds. I mean, obviously, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, both having great years. They could be up there, but I'm me personally, when I'm going through who is the most valuable player, Christian McCaffrey's up there for what he's done with the 49ers. But the argument is there's so many weapons out there that it's hard to say he's the most valuable. And then, but when I look at the Texans, it's you take him out of the equation, that's a 3-13 team, 3-14 team.
What about AJ Brown?
Yeah. See, the problem with skill positions, why they don't, this is pretty much why the argument for the MVP is a quarterback award at this point. It's merely based off the fact that AJ Brown can't produce if Jalen Hurts isn't good enough.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless every pass was a screen pass.
AJ Brown.
Running through 11 people, then it's hard to argue, let's give it to Jalen. But nah, it's literally if AJ Brown's balling out, it's probably because Jalen Hurts is balling out.
Yeah, but even if it's not because of Jalen Hurts, it also makes Jalen Hurts ball out because he gets those stats too.
Yes. And you do have, whether we like to admit it or not, as much as we want to say we aren't casuals, there are people out there that don't watch every game. So the only way they're critiquing a player's performance is they're going, let me see the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Let me see the stat sheet. And I hate it. I think it's stupid. We talked about it last pod with the whole Max Crosby situation, but it's going to happen. There's no way you can sit down and watch every single NFL game that easily. We literally have a channel dedicated just to watching the scoring plays. And that's the most watched thing in the world. And they don't even have every game on 24/7.
Yeah.
So
our next topic, something we don't really have to touch that much on, but Deshaun Watson's out for the season with a shoulder injury. The amount of memes I have seen of Deshaun Watson and going to massage parlors and in Cleveland and stuff has been so funny. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I stated it a year ago when he got traded on the pod that I think it was a very dumb decision. I think that he didn't prove himself enough to be paid the money that they paid him. And everyone said I was like stupid, I was dumb, like this and that. But like, dude, you don't play the way you play and then take a year off and then come in and just start balling again. Like ring rust exists. Like that is a thing. Um, I also think he just hasn't really felt his groove. Obviously, like losing, like not having Nick Chubb there is not very beneficial to you in your offense. But I'm not a big Deshaun Watson guy, man. Not a big Deshaun Watson football guy. Not a big Deshaun Watson person guy.
Yeah. Look, it's hard enough to bounce back after a year suspension. It's even harder to do that for a new team in a new city with a new coaching scheme, especially when majority of people within the United States are against you. And it's really like already extremely difficult to play in the NFL. There's just so much more stacked on top of that. Every mistake he makes is going to be like modified times 1,000. So, is it too early to say that like, oh, he's washed, like it's over for him, his career will never bounce back? No, I don't think so. I don't know his exact age off the top of my head, but he's young enough to still have a couple more years in him at least. So,
But was he worth $400 million?
That's not for me to say.
Yeah, come on, dude.
I mean, for me, I'm never paying anyone that amount of money in my life. So
I'm never touching that much money in my life.
Yeah, factual. But like the way I look at it, it's just kind of like, when in any sport has trading away that many assets actually worked out for you, like long term? Like
I can't name a single situation where it's worked.
Yeah, no, it always backfires. It always backfires. So like that's why when teams do it, I'm like, so much shit can go wrong.
And
like,
it does every time.
It does every time. Like that's why when I see players sign for like 8 to 10 year contracts, like yeah, you had to do it to get him here, but like you don't know what can happen in those 10 years.
Yeah,
he could be washed in 2. So I don't know. The Browns are going to brown. They're going to be back to browning in no time if they aren't already browning. So I mean,
they're already browning.
Yeah, they're browning.
That's awesome. But yeah, our next thing, this is a little insane too. Aaron Rodgers said his goal is to return mid-December from a torn Achilles. Listen, dude, I like Aaron. I like all his like holistic stuff. I like his I like that he's kind of like a hippie where he's like, there's bad things that happen. Like it's hard to like he's woke to an extent, like he's just like he understands. He doesn't go with the flow of everything else. Like he spoke out on the vaccine stuff. I do like that about Aaron, but I think this is a little of a stretch. Like, dude, even if you somehow do come back, first of all, I don't care what treatment you're getting. I don't care if it's stem cells. I don't care what it is. You're not going to be ready enough fully 100%. And also, it's like, even if you are, what is the point? Like, the OC is going to be shitting his britches every time you're out there. Like, fuck, don't let him get touched. And their O-line is probably the worst O-line in the NFL. So it's like, what is the point, dude? Just relax. Get fully recovered. Get some trades, get some draft picks, get an O-line, and then maybe try again next season.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, he's already put himself like in a position where like people are banking on his return. Like he is making so much like effort, like putting in so much effort and making strides to set for like a this season return. And as crazy as that sounds, and no one would blame him for necessarily like taking the season off, but the naysayers will call him out for it, being like, oh, you like rushed all that for nothing. Like you just did all that extra shit to not play a game. Like it would just give a lot of room for people to talk more shit. And not to say that he necessarily cares or not, but I feel like if you are going to take that risk and you are going to put that much effort into returning as soon as possible, like to quit on it when you're like that close, I feel like would be more of a shot at his pride in a sense, if that makes sense. Like it's more so being like, you all said I couldn't, now I want to, or like, I'm going to show you I can. And then when you back out, it's like, oh, I proved him right. Like it may be one of those situations, but at the same time, like if they somehow secure a playoff spot or there's a game left and they need to win that game to make the playoffs and he feels confident enough to roll back out there, I think the man knows his own body better than any other medical professional.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's just like,
I personally hate it. I would have said take the year. The moment you got injured, we were all expecting you to take a seat. Like it was nothing. It was not a knock against you. Like no one was expecting you to come back.
In December, yeah.
Yeah, but now that you're out here being like, I'm setting my own return for December, it's kind of like, are you going to follow through on your word or are you going to backtrack last minute?
Are you just trying to get clicks?
Exactly. Exactly. This next point I just want to bring up real quick, just because I saw this was a rumor. Cannot confirm nor deny this, but we will check in with it when more stuff gets revealed. But insiders like Adam Schefter are to no longer be allowed to bet on the sports they cover. Now, this was very interesting to me and Mr. Fisher because we were talking about it saying like, well, we already thought that'd be something that would be banned because, I mean, let's be honest. It just doesn't seem fair that a guy has that much connections, personal connections to so many NFL players and organizations that he can make bets on certain sport, like or on certain plays or games. Like that just doesn't seem fair. But then at the same time, you can have a politician bet on the stock market. So that's a little interesting. Just want to throw that out
You can
there.
have a
But
politician be married to someone who works in stocks and still bet in the stock market. Okay, explosive.
crazy how that could happen. But I do think it's a smart move if they do go ahead and ban it, because personally,
But they can still gamble on other sports, I believe. Just
that
not the
they
one
don't cover. But guys guys like, would you even say Stephen A. Smith counts? Like, does he count as like an analyst or an insider?
Yeah, he definitely covers everything. Yeah.
But he covers everything, right? So what could he
Yeah,
gamble?
but I think Stephen A. could bet on baseball. I'd
But
give
if
him baseball. I'd
but
give
if
him
he
MMA. I'd give him baseball and MMA. I would just not touch basketball and football.
Yeah, I feel like with MMA, like even if you are like the greatest, like most knowledgeable MMA fighter, you can't account for
Dude,
just
I think you could know everything going into it, and it still wouldn't fucking matter.
still wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Still
it
would
still
not
wouldn't matter.
wouldn't play out. Guessing on fights is pure
It
luck.
is so hard,
It's a
especially at that level when everyone's fucking amazing.
yeah, exactly. Like now, some fights easier than others, but the odds reflect that. It's pretty accurate. And when crazy upsets happen, it's because no one thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, or like this weekend, those fights were so tough to pick.
Yeah. But what's next?
Referees.
Yeah, just another quick little point. Personally, with how drastic everything has gotten within the four major sports about how like bad reffing has gotten, guys getting technicals in basketball, getting thrown out, poor calls, even in soccer, you have teams being outraged trying to get into the VAR room, trying to beat up referees. Like it is what it is.
That's awesome.
But it shouldn't be. It is what it is. Because what should happen is you need to make these guys accountable for their actions. And I'm not saying punish them. Like this isn't like giving them threats or anything, but like at least make them come out, sit in a press conference, allow people to ask them questions for why certain calls were made. So it creates some transparency with the fans. Like at this point, it just feels like they make a call and people argue about it on social media. A rules official may tweet about it and then that's it. Like it's not like, oh yeah, we know we messed up, we're going to do better. It's just like, yeah, we messed up and there's nothing you can do about it. So
I'm saying punish them. I'm saying you're finding Josh Jacobs for being a running back and dropping his shoulder. A referee should be fined for shit calls that have a huge impact on a match or game.
yeah.
I do think so. I think the first way to address it is with the press conferences and just being like, let them explain, interrogate them. Like players get interrogated, coaches get interrogated, athletic directors get interrogated. Why don't these guys that have such an important part of the game that's just like they're just almighty power? No, I mean, that's stupid. They're humans too.
Yeah.
Then I think you enforce fines where it's like, dude, that call was so bad and it had such a large like for example, whoever was the ref that didn't throw the PI in that Saints game with the Rams, he should be fined. Like
Yeah.
they literally made a rule change because of that play. Yeah, I just think it's dumb that if you're like a quote unquote authority in the sport, just because you're a referee, I think that's stupid. I think that they should, half of these guys have never even played that sport or like excelled to the level in which they're reffing. How do you just expect them to know everything or just trust that they know everything, But yeah, we're very anti-ref here. And I think that same, and obviously with MMA, it's probably the worst based on the fact that they have guys that have never even trained in the sport. But Zach has a little player A, player B comparison to get us wrapped up with our NFL part of this podcast.
Yes, Mr. Fisher. So player A, 2,120 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 67% completion clip, 89.3 QBR, 7.1 yards per attempt. Okay. Player B, 2,143 yards, so more passing yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 65% completion rate, 93.7% QBR rating, and 7.0 yards per attempt.
All right, can I get a division for each? Or
Player
at least, yeah, just give me AFC or NFC.
Player A is AFC South.
Okay.
Player B is NFC South.
Well, I already know player A because you
We had a little.
yeah, you literally told me. But let me guess player B. You said NFC South?
Yeah. Don't be looking up stats for quarterback. You're just allowed to look at the team.
No, I'm not looking up.
Who is the exact amount of yards?
All right. It's gotta be Baker.
It is Baker.
It's Trevor Lawrence and Baker.
Yep. Baker has more passing yards, more touchdowns, 1 less interception. He's completing at a 2% less rate, better quarterback rating, and only 0.1 yard difference between yards per attempt.
Nuts, dude. And he's getting shit on.
So who would you rather have on your team just for this season? Would you rather have Baker? Would you rather have Trevor?
Some people have been calling him Baker.
Baker.
Yeah, throwing a little French twist to it. But that I didn't got anything more for the
Nope. I will say this though. Don't disrespect the man that's feeling dangerous when he wakes up in the morning. Tampa quarterback deserves a Tampa team to play for.
I'm so stupid.
But yeah, that'll wrap up our NFL portion of the pod. That actually didn't take too long.
No, we're having fun, man. We're having fun. We're getting through it. Start us off on our college football. I feel like college football right now, there's so much going on because we're like in that November mark where like teams start firing and hiring and postseason play starts getting in look. Jimbo Fisher fired, gone, Texas A&M. Is it wild? Is it like we didn't know it was coming? No. Was the timing of it weird? Yes. He wins a game 51-10 and then gets fired the next day. That is weird to me. But if you were at the game or somehow, I don't know, if you're like a Texas A&M diehard, at halftime, they received a $137 million check from their boosters program. Where do you think that money's going, Zach?
Probably to get rid of them.
It's paying out Jimbo to sit on the couch and make millions. So that's probably why the timing. It is weird though, that it happened after such a big win. And I'm gonna skip some notes here just because it's on the same topic. The same other team, Mississippi State, fired Zach Arnett. Now, did Zach Arnett have a good year? No. But this man was your defense coordinator, and then Mike Leach passes away, which is unfortunate. But you just throw Zach Arnett in the head coaching job with like he doesn't have any recruits. He has nothing. He's never been a head coach. You throw it to him. I believe he was the youngest head coach in the Power Five. And then he doesn't have a good year and you boot him already? There's got to be something internal that we don't know about in there. There's no way they just boot him that fast. They had like he was in the worst situation for every category to be in, and then they just get rid of him. Now, he wasn't doing good, but like, I don't know, dude. I feel like there's got to be something else internally going on to just boot him like that.
I don't know. I feel like the SEC, like being an SEC coach, you're already on a short leash. Not so much for the Jimbo situation. Like they paid him a lot of money and they were kind of stuck in that until the payout came through. We already talked about the potential coaching list and a talk for Texas A&M, and I already addressed some of the ridiculous ones. The Arnett situation, though, like literally a short leash. Like I feel like in that situation, they threw him in there being like, hey, let's see what you can do. But if you're not showing us that there's any like ramp up for the future, then like, why are we wasting our time? Like we have the money and resources to go bring in another coach from somewhere else who could either do the exact same thing as you, if not a little bit better. So for Mississippi State, if he's not pulling in a recruiting class, if he's not coaching them into games or at least keeping them close, what's the point? So I feel like it was one of those situations where there was no real bright spot about his coaching tenure, despite how short it was, but it also didn't leave room for any hope for them to be like, yeah, we want you to come back. So, do we wish some people's dreams lived out a little bit longer? Of course, but like you said, came in during one of the worst situations. It's hard. If he would have been able to pull that out, they would have made a movie about him.
Yeah, but dude, it's so hard to follow Mike Leach. Like, you're not just following any coach; you're following a Hall of Fame GOAT.
Yeah, but I still don't think that Mississippi State should drop their standards for a head coach just because it's a difficult situation.
But I think you should give him more than half a season.
Not, dog, if I hire you and I say hey, we want to test you out for a year and you suck ass at your job in the first 4 weeks, I'm going to be get the fuck out. I'm just going to tell you to get out, bro. I don't need to see you to the end of the year if you shape up or hold the reins. You should know it. We know what we're expecting from you by now, and you're not getting it done. So we're sorry. And losing 51, whatever it was, 51-6 or whatever, doesn't leave me any hope. If anything, that makes me be yep, that was the nail in the coffin.
That was the right call.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that.
That's funny.
Pretty good about that.
Yeah, and going on another coaching situation, the Jim Harbaugh situation has finally come to an end. He will take a 3-game suspension from the team, and they will no longer look into it. I have 2 big things. First of all, that means he will miss their game against Maryland and their game against Ohio State. And then if they make the Big Ten championship, that game. But if they somehow don't and then make the playoffs, he misses the opening game of the playoffs. So it's 3 games. It's 3 games. My other point. If he did something as bad as being accused, 3 games is nothing. 3 games is a fucking slap on the wrist if they actually cheated to the extent that they were accused of.
Yeah.
It seems a little Michigan-y. Where they're just oh yeah, there you go, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little funny to me. And he pleaded guilty. He took it right away.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's a little weird.
I feel like it's one of those situations where, we saw the statement that came out and it said that Jim Harbaugh, wasn't caught of any wrongdoing. So the punishment wasn't directly towards him. But since he is the head coach and the leader of the institution for their football program, the blame has to fall on his shoulders. You are the leader of this program. And the fact that such illicit activities were being conducted under your reign as head coach, you have to face the consequences for that. So I feel like 3 games is fair, especially the magnitude of the punishment. If you really look at it, look, Michigan, all their guys are juniors and seniors. Most are going to leave for the draft after this year. This is kind of their last really prove it year, in my opinion. This is going to be the year where they have to make a playoff push to win it all. And if they don't, all your guys are gone. You're facing a 3-game suspension where you have one of your biggest rivals in a top 3 matchup with Ohio State. That's a must-win game, and you don't have him on the sidelines. Now, I will say this. Him being there all week for practices makes little to no difference for the effect of how they're going to play during the game.
Completely agree.
Let me
put
it
in the play caller, I don't think.
No, let me put it like this. This isn't middle school substitute teacher where the interim head coach steps in and everyone starts goofing off and not playing the right way. It's still Michigan football. They still have ballers on both sides of the ball. Yes, their offense looks a little lethargic that last game, but at the same time, they're still not committing any mistakes. They're still playing clean football. They're playing just like they would if he wasn't or was on the field. Now, if he was completely away from the team and the team and the interim coach has to learn how to bounce from week to week, that would be a completely different story.
That's a real punishment.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing to overcome. But for what the punishment's worth, I think it is fair. I think it's something that's all right, we'll accept it, even though Michigan fans will die on the hill of we're innocent. We never did anything. But regardless, I think it just sets up for a historic rivalry week. That's all it does. So many storylines, so many question marks heading into the game, and none of it will matter once they take the field. Once they are playing the game, no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to watch the first drive of the game being man, if Harbaugh was there, this should be a whole different ball game.
Dude, I got so many memes of them just shitting on that coach and Blake Corum crying after the game. They're like, rest in peace, Jim Harbaugh. He died too soon. Like they literally act, I fucking hate Michigan, bro. They literally act like he's dead. Like they literally act like he got murdered.
Like, we're doing it for our coach.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Like, oh, we're sorry to hear that. What happened? He got a 3-game suspension because he let us all own LLCs and
Yeah, now our own businesses.
not our own businesses.
I'm a businessman. But yes, keeping on the Big Ten though. Penn State fired their offensive coordinator, Mike Yurcich. I don't fucking know. He's dog shit. Their offense is terrible. They run for it every time it's 3rd and 5. Yeah, they need to get rid of him. Their defense is fucking good though. Their defense is Penn State. Manny Diaz is their defense coordinator. He's one of those guys that I'm like, great coordinator, not a good head coach. Their defense is solid. Their offense sucks. You have Drew Alar, who's supposed to be like the truth. Didn't play like shit. Didn't played like shit in their 2 biggest games this year. Mike Yurcich had to go.
I agree.
Weird one though. UCLA announced they're not announced, but like rumor around the block is they're probably getting rid of Chip Kelly at the end of the season. Which is weird. Like is UCLA amazing? No, but they're not bad. Like they're not bad at all. And it wasn't like before Chip Kelly got there, they were great. They were dog shit before Chip Kelly got there. And like,
what's are they going to?
They're going to the Big Ten, and they're getting rid of Chip Kelly. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he's made them amazing by any means, but he's definitely made them better since when he's got there. Like, bro, I couldn't name you one time when UCLA was a powerhouse program while I've been alive. Couldn't name it.
Yeah. I'll also say this. I don't think switching conferences is the right time to be making changes of that magnitude.
Yeah, agree. Unless there's like a behind the scenes thing and they already know they got someone.
That's different. But that would be illegal. So you couldn't do that in season. What I will say, or what I will also say is, you go to the Big Ten, you hire your new head coach, and you flat out suck. Is it because you saw Pac-12 players trying to play in the Big Ten? Or is it because your head coach just doesn't know how to work with the talented roster he has? It's not like the Texas A&M situation, because we know Texas A&M has like 55 stars. Like that's just Texas A&M. But UCLA, it's kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, interesting move.
Our next thing is sorry.
Why do you have the FSU UF game in the notes?
Because I was going to talk about it, man. I'm a little nervous about this. I'm not going to lie. They announced that the Florida State-Florida game is a 7 p.m. night game in the Swamp. Do I think Florida's a good team? No. Do I think Florida can beat Florida State, though? Yes. Florida at the Swamp is just like, they're like on steroids. I don't know what it is about that place or about that fucking fan section, dude, but these guys, like, they play so different at the Swamp, and it's at night. It's going to be a scary game, Zach. I'm a little nervy-worvy.
Nah. See, I think the nerves come from the history sense of it. Like, I feel like it's ingrained in us at this point to be like, hey, it's rivalry.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, and I agree with you in that regard. However, I know what, they say nerves come from, like, failing to meet your own expectations. Like, you're scared of not reaching your own expectations because the work you've put in. And I've seen what we can do. I've also seen what we've done. And I've seen a Florida team that struggled all year long. Fan base included, they don't know what the right move is. You have fans arguing about firing Napier. Players not necessarily want to be playing there anymore. Decommitments.
Yeah, they've had a lot of decommitments recently.
Not even decommitting, straight flipping. Like, it's not even like, maybe it's not even like one of those, like, I don't know if I want to go to Florida anymore. It's like, no, I know what other school I want to go to. It's like, yeah, I don't want to go here. Like, so with that being said, it's not one of those things where it's like, I think Florida can do something better than us at anything. I just feel like it's a matter of stopping ourselves. Like, don't let the
Dude, but in Florida at night is going to be.
Hey,
Tennessee got smacked there at night.
Tennessee's also frauds.
Yeah, I agree. And
I'm
just saying, all of Florida. Florida is 2-16 in their last set at 18 away. All their wins coming home.
Except to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Except to
Let's
Arkansas.
debut black jerseys at noon in Florida. Yeah, that's smart.
Genius. Genius. I'll tell you. But yeah. What's next for college?
We were talking a little Texas A&M. Dan Lanning comes out and basically states, "Ain't no way I'm going there." Blah blah blah. I'm here at Oregon forever. I love what I have here. No way would I ever go there. Da 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 da. He made it like overemphasizing that he's not going there. So he's probably going there. Whenever they put that much of it, whenever they put that much effort into stating they're not going somewhere, they usually do. Like Lincoln Riley was like, "I'm dying a fucking Oklahoma Sooner," and then he jetted his ass to LA.
Yeah.
You know,
All
like
I'm saying is, if you've ever asked your girlfriend about a guy and she says like, "Oh, he's just a friend," or "Oh, he's like a brother to me," best believe they gonna be fucking.
yeah, they'd be fucking. And Dan Lanning, he might not be fucking yet, but he got a kiss in the
He
first
sent
date.
it.
with Texas
He
A&M.
sent in text. He sent in
Yeah.
text. There's a reason he turns his phone off when he's with you. He's putting it in his pocket. Do not disturb type shit. Oh, who's Pizza Hut? I don't know.
Who's
I don't know.
Pizza Hut? Why are you texting Pizza Hut?
Why is settings texting you right now? Oh, fucking Apple's got them offers, dude. I don't know.
I just updated my phone. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm out of storage. That's what it is. Fuck. Like, hop off my back, woman.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. This is a big one. NCAA declined JMU and James Madison University and Jacksonville State their postseason request. So for those of you who don't know, this is the second year that JMU has been in the Division I program, and it's the first year for Jacksonville State, and they're both bowl eligible. JMU is 10-0. Jacksonville State, I think they're like 7-3 or 8-2. They're doing really well, and they're not allowed to play postseason or in their conference championship because the NCAA states you have a 3-year ban until from coming into conference. So JMU, sent a letter. Like, I don't know how the fuck that works, but they like requested and they got denied. And now the general attorney of Virginia is trying to sue the NCAA for not letting JMU play in it.
I will militarize our police and march down there.
I think that's fucking awesome. First of all, I think that's sick. Second of all, these teams should be allowed. If they went down to Division II, then I understand because they're at an advantage. But they went up a division and are doing better. They're at a disadvantage. So why are you going to punish them for doing well? Also, let's talk about the NCAA, the most money-starved or money-hungry corporation in the world. You let JMU play in the conference championship and then probably be the team to represent for New Year's Six Bowl. That's going to make you money. Them not playing ain't making you money, brother.
Yeah. I will also say this. There is nothing stopping the conferences, though. Like, the Big Ten or the Pac-12 can nominate JMU to play in their bowl game. There's nothing stopping them from doing so. And, like, the Pac-12, let me verify this. Can a conference represent JMU? I was just reading this. Fuck. I'm not gonna be able to find it now. But pretty much.
Are you saying that like for like the bowl games that are like Pac-12 versus this, Pac-12 versus that, Pac-12 can choose JMU to take their slot?
But JMU would have to play in the Pac-12 championship and win it to be the representative. But there's nothing stopping them from being like,
wait, you're saying the Pac-12 could be like, fuck everyone, Washington, JMU for the conference championship game.
Yeah, like 90% sure.
And then JMU can just win it and then be like, yeah, fuck everyone.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, no one can actually play in this bowl because it's supposed to be our representative, but we have a bowl ban, so you obviously won't let us. So now you can't make any money off that bowl game because no one can play it.
No fucking way, dude.
I'm pretty sure. I was reading about it, and
it's something like that. It's something
along those lines where like it's like nothing stopping the Big Ten from just being like, hey, JMU, go represent the Big Ten West because they all suck.
Dude, that would be awesome.
That could be the Pac-12's funniest send-off of all time.
Yeah, just saying fuck you everyone and then just making Jacksonville State and JMU play in their conference championship game.
Yeah, and they're like winner represents us, and the
That,
role is
that is crazy. But yeah, fuck the NCAA. It's a fucking monopoly. It's the most corrupt business in the whole fucking world. They're pieces of shit.
By the
Uh,
way, by the
yeah.
way, I'll say this. JMU also waived their FCS year because when you transition, you can do one more year in FCS if you want to. They said, fuck all that. We're going straight to D1. And went
They get
8-3.
fucked for it.
Yeah, they went
By the
8-3.
way, this is a very historic football program. We're talking about like, bless you, an FCS team that like ran, like JMU ran FCS for like over a decade. Like they have been consistently a top 10 FCS team. Also, shout out Jordan McLeod, their starting quarterback, Tampa boy.
Shout out back to Madison. He was my boy. He was the long snapper from JMU when they won the title in I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
But Zach, you have one thing here to wrap us up with our college football.
Yeah, so I actually saw something interesting and it was really funny. So as we all know, this is going to be the last year of the like college football playoff 4-team bracket, unless it goes one more year. I'm not sure.
I'm
But
pretty sure they're trying to make 12 next year, as I read.
Sure. So wouldn't it be great if history repeated itself and we went back to the first ever college football playoff?
I did see this. I did see
What
this.
and what do I mean by that? Well, let me put it this way. In 2013, when the college football playoff had its first 4 teams make the playoffs, the 4 teams were Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, and Florida State. Obviously not in that order, but those were the top.
It was Bama 1, Oregon 2, Florida State 3, Ohio State 4.
Yes. Now, in a different order, though, if Ohio State wins out, they're in. If Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship,
If all 4 of those teams went out, they're in.
yes. Because if Oregon beats Washington,
they're in.
They're in. Well, they could be because the only other thing I could imagine is if Alabama does beat Georgia,
it's putting Georgia in.
Georgia and Bama would probably sneak in.
Yeah, but how do you put Georgia? How do you put? It's possible. If all these teams win out, it's very possible.
It's very possible. But for me, what has to happen is Georgia has to lose to Alabama in the SEC championship game. Georgia would have to drop out of the top 4, thus moving Bama in but kicking Georgia out. Ohio State wins out. Oregon would have to beat Oregon State and Washington in the championship to secure their spot.
Florida State just wins out.
Florida State just has to win out.
Oregon, 2 things need to happen. Alabama needs to kill Georgia and win by like 20, or Oregon needs to kill Washington. Like there needs to be something where it's like, look how like this is the team to go in.
Yeah, I could see it. I want my payback on Oregon, but I would much rather whoop on some Michigan ass this year.
Yeah, I would love to play Michigan in the first round. I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. I mean, last time they played, I was there in Miami and we won in the Orange Bowl. So,
yes, sir.
And DeAndre Francois. But we're moving on to some mixed martial arts. UFC 295 was this weekend, and we got some new champions. Our new heavyweight interim champion of the world, Tom Aspinall, knocks out Sergey Pavlovich in the opening round. And then we have Mr. Alex. Wait, no, is it Alex? Yeah, it's Alex Poatan Pereira knocks out Yuri Prajov. I don't know how the fuck he says that. Prohaska in the opening round. My initial thoughts. First of all, great card. Every fight on the main event, on the main card, was a finish. Tom Aspinall has the potential to be the best heavyweight of all time. He's young. The way he moves, the way he can strike, the way he can wrestle, dude, he's fucking terrifying. He ain't small, Zach. He ain't small at all. And my other thing is they ended the main event too soon. Do I think Yuri was hurt? Yes. Did I want Poatan to win? Yes. But he kept fighting. Like he got knocked down, went straight to butterfly guard, and then went for a shot. Like and my other thing is, if you're fighting for a world title, they should let you get a little hurt, before they call it off. Overall, though, I think Poatan's going to hold the belt for a little bit, and Tom Aspinall wants to fight, and I love it. He said out in February, I'm ready to defend this shit because I know Johnson take forever. It's hard to not be a Tom Aspinall fan, brother. It's hard. Also, I think Alex Pereira baptizes Jamal Hill, like literally murders him.
I saw a comment today. It was like It was like, I'm more pissed off that the UFC allowed the light heavyweight division to get so thin that Jamal Hill ended up being champion.
No, I saw that too.
Yeah, it was like, because people think Jamal's a dog because he's champ. It's like he was the right man at the right
Yeah,
time.
he got so lucky. Who did he beat for it?
He beat a 42-year-old Glover.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And like, dude, in my opinion, dude, I saw this tweet. It was actually insane to me. So Alex Pereira's resume so far that I was looking at, give me a second to bring this up. It's loading. He's beaten Izzy, Sean Strickland, Jan Blachowicz, and Yuri Prochazka.
4 world champions in 7 fights.
In 7 fights.
It's insane, dude.
He already has a Hall of Fame resume easily.
Like he's got to defend the belt once, but yes.
He's a double champ. He's beaten how many former or current world champions? Like, that's Hall of Fame career right there.
He is a double champ though, but the light heavyweight division is the easiest division to get a belt.
I don't care if you did it in the women's atomweight division as a man. Like, you're a double champ, dude. Like it really. I don't care.
I'm a 2-time UFC world champion, dude. Really? Yeah, women's 110.
Yeah, and you know what? Since we're on it, we'll come back to our fight reactions. We may as well bring it up since we brought up double champ status. What is up with fighters in busy divisions where you have quality contenders refusing to defend their belt and trying to chase double champ status? I don't understand the urgency of it. I feel like double champ status should be reserved for people who have either dominated in a division for so long, like where they have to move up, or in a Conor Pereira situation where the circumstances just call, like, it fits better. Like, Pereira was going through a lot to be able to make 180.
But he also didn't go up until he lost his belt.
Right. Exactly. So like, what are we doing? Why
I can't even imagine what he had to go through for those weight cuts, bro. Because he's big as fuck at 205.
Yeah, huge. But just wanted to bring that up. But back to the 295 reactions. Pereira, I hope he runs that division for a while. If only he would have came to MMA sooner. Like, he is pretty old. Like, he's getting later in his career. He doesn't probably have too many fights left, in my opinion. I did love his post-fight speech. I wish it would have been interpreted better, because once I saw actual interpretations, it was great. He talked about being a champion or how grateful he was. And then he said that he wanted to give Izzy a rematch because at one point he was in the bar drinking, hadn't really found himself anymore. And Izzy inspired him to get back into it. And he feels that it would be a waste of talent if Izzy sat on the sidelines not doing anything. So he's literally being like, dude, come back. I will give you a title shot, but you need to keep fighting.
Yeah, I don't think Izzy deserves it.
I don't care if he deserves it or not. It's just more so the fact that he's trying to be even though we're rivals, you did help me. And
it goes to the John Jones DC thing where people are like, do you think they kind of liked each other? Or Usman, Colby, they fucking hate each other, but they made each other so much money. They definitely have a little bit of respect for each other.
And even the money aspect aside, to know in your mind you have someone that you can mentally put yourself up to compete day in and day out, that is a huge motivating factor.
Oh, yeah. And then when you go into that fight and you know how hard you worked, and then that guy respected you enough to work just as hard because he knows how good you are, it's respectful, dude.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they just started kissing in the octagon. That's just love.
Watching a different stream, brother.
Watching a different stream, brother. You're like, whoa, he's got him hurt. He's kissing him on the mouth.
But some actually big news that I feel like it's been kind of brushed under the rug. Usman Nurmagomedov failed a drug test in Bellator. First of all, he's Khabib's brother. Second of all, he he might be Khabib's cousin. No, I think he's Khabib's brother. He's the lightweight champion of Bellator, gets his belt taken, and he gets a 6-month suspension for failing a drug test. Now they're saying all these drug test organizations are going to be just spreading like wildfire in the Dagestani camps and everything. And you got guys that have been making fun of them, saying we have muscle strength and all this stuff. Would I be surprised? Absolutely not. I think they're probably all on shit. I understand they train in the fucking mountains, but when you have a gym like they do, when it's that tight niche, when one guy's doing something, there's usually another guy helping him. It's not like Usman Nurmagomedov's the only one doing it. But dude, let's talk about Conor McGregor just fucking loving this shit, dude. Going on Twitter, just blasting all of them, blasting Khabib. Like, oh my gosh, dude, I've been seeing so much shit blasting them, but I feel like it's not being talked about enough. Like, this is a world champion. Like, I can't remember the last time, maybe John Jones, like a world champion's been busted, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, that's sketchy, bro. And like I said, they're gonna start going to the Dagestani camp, and we're gonna start seeing guys drop like flies, I think.
Yeah. Like you said, I personally think, like, not just for Dagestani fighters, but I think most of fighters are on some form of something, whether it be banned or not, but you're taking something to get your body back in shape, to make yourself stronger. Like, you're trying to give yourself an edge in some regard. Now, is the list extensive for banned substances? Yes, it's super long. Do I think some fighters just happen to be taking something that they don't even realize is banned? Probably. Like, the
Not in
list
his
is,
case though, dude. He knew what he was taking.
yeah, maybe not. I didn't look enough into it, so I don't know for certain. Like, I don't want to just
He's
throw it
the
out there.
world champion,
Yeah,
champion of the world.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm just saying, like, I don't personally know like the whole details of like what he took exactly, or
Yeah, I
like
don't know. I don't know to that extent either.
exactly. So like, I don't know how significant it is, but was significant
Six
enough.
months suspension is significant, and losing his title.
Yeah. So pretty significant, it would seem. But yeah, I mean, personally, in my dream world, we just give the fighters as much roids as possible and let them fight to the death. That would be my dream
I
circumstance.
think we'd see so many heart attacks.
I agree. But at the same time, this is the real world. This is not my fantasy. So we do have rules and regulations in place to protect these
There
fighters.
is supposed to be a steroid Olympics next year.
300 blown quads.
Yeah, but it's gonna be lit
Yeah.
to see people like what they could do.
Yeah. But even then, like, the best of the best aren't
It's like
blown.
VOT dialed down.
Yeah.
It's like V just dialed down.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, we're not, but to be fair, like, we're not seeing LeBron James on steroids out there. Like, we're probably seeing,
I don't
like,
know what we're gonna see, but there's a whole. You should look it up. I can't remember the name of it, but they're having a steroid Olympics next year, and it's like approved and everything. I don't know, somewhere in the Midwest, I think.
yeah. Regardless, our next point we wanted to get to,
Aljamain Sterling,
yes.
as we all know, now that he's not getting the title rematch, which I kind of saw happening, he wants to go up to 145, which I don't blame him because his weight cut to 35 is fucking nuts, dude. I remember I met him at Syndicate MMA in Vegas, and he was bigger than me, you know, and he's a big guy. I think he'll be good size at 45. He announced that the UFC offered him Calvin Kattar. I like that fight. Calvin, you know, both guys are a little older. Both guys are kind of in that like, oh shit part of their career. Like, we got to make something happen. I think Kattar would be a nice welcome for him. My thing is, I don't like, and I'm not like, I don't dislike Kattar. I actually like Kattar. I just don't. I'm not like a huge fan. I don't follow him enough. I don't know if he's ever fought like a really good wrestler grappler. I can't think of.
Name it off the top of my head, personally.
Yeah, I can't. So it might be an interesting fight for them, as well as, you know, your wrestling and grappling gets a little shittier when you go up in weight and there's a little more size. That's just a fact. That's not an opinion. Like, when you go up a weight class, guys are bigger and stronger. You can't get away with the same shit.
You know what it should be.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what it should be.
What?
I know exactly what it should be. Aljamain Sterling, Brian Ortega, UFC 300.
That would be fucking lit. I think Brian's way too big for him though.
Where the fuck is Brian Ortega?
Dude, hasn't won a fight in 3 years. He's ranked third in the world.
Where the fuck is Brian Ortega?
Yeah.
If someone launched like a TikTok series where it's just like trying to find Brian Ortega, and it's just like glimpses of like the back of his head, like he left a restaurant in Istanbul. We
Dude,
found
it's
him.
crazy though. He hasn't won a fight in 3 years. He hasn't fought in 2 years, and he's ranked third in the world still.
What is he doing to Dana under the table?
What does he do in life? Like, how is he making money and doing things? Like,
I feel like he's low key, like they low key locked him in a dungeon in some like a darkness retreat, and he's just in there working on scrambling. Like, he's like, I can only see arm triangles in my
No,
vision.
dude, it's so funny. Whenever I get like a Brian Ortega like rabbit hole like that, all the like everyone's like, why is he still ranked? And all the comments are like, he's too handsome. He's so handsome. They can't get rid of him. He's so handsome.
But no, seriously, if he did, like, if they dropped that announcement, they were
That
like,
would be a fire fight, dude. That'd be fire. The
listen,
grappling exchanges in that would be nuts.
yeah. And not to mention, I don't think people people have been talking about it, and I don't think people realize how big of a deal this is. Dude, every like 100th UFC card, like UFC 100, UFC 200, and now we're rounding up on UFC 300, has been a big deal for Dana, and Dana knows it is. So he tries to stack the card. We already know right now, Connor probably may or may not be back by UFC 300. Islam's not going to be ready for UFC 300.
Well, they said that there will be no Muslim fighters on it because it's Ramadan,
Okay.
and there won't be any Mexican fighters. Probably, I mean, UFC didn't say this. This is what I've been reading, and there won't be any Mexican fighters because it's too close to Mexican Independence Day, and that's what they want at the Sphere. Which, by the way, another thing I know we're on a rant. Why don't you put the Mexican Independence Day card in Mexico? I don't get it. Like Dana's doing
You don't understand. We can just put it in the Sphere and then make it look like Mexico.
I fucking guess, dude. It doesn't make sense. Like he's like trying to make it like they're doing such a big deal and doing such like a big thing for the Mexican fighters, but they're not even fighting in fucking Mexico, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it is in Vegas, so like Dana's kind of like
Probably a good amount of Mexicans in there.
close enough. Raiders fans out there alike, they'll be there.
That's fucking awesome. But wrapping up our pod before we go into our draft, Leon Edwards supposedly knocked out Ian Garry in sparring. Because for those of you guys that don't know, Ian Garry's fighting Vicente Luque. They're teammates at Sanford, Killcliff, whatever the fuck you want to call it, MMA down in Deerfield Beach, Florida. So Ian Garry went to another gym and he went to whatever Leon's gym. I can't think of it on the top of my head, which makes me feel like a dumbass. You went to Leon's gym in England. Oh, fuck, what is it? Is it SPG? It's gonna bother me that I can't remember it. And Leon supposedly knocked Ian Garry out. Ian Garry with a head kick, and then Ian Garry went to the hospital, and they were asking about it. He goes, "Yeah, but I knocked him out first, and then he knocked me out." And they're like, "This kid's dumb as shit." On top of that, not related to the fact, as I believe, they also Leon's gym kicked Ian Garry out, said he couldn't do his fight camp there. First of all, I know there was already issues with him going there in the first place because like Leon's the champ and he trains there, so it was a little weird. And then people were trying to say like him and Leon were beefing and sparring and stuff, and that's why they kicked out Garry. But Leon, first of all, I'm a big Leon fan, dude. He's so likable. He went out there and he said, no, he goes, the thing is, we're very low key. We're very, focused on the grind, train, have fun, do our thing. And Ian Garry is a media guy. He comes to practice late. He has cameras at every practice all over him. Like, that's just not how we do things. He's like down in Florida, like that might be how they do it because here it's not how we do things. We're a smaller gym. Like we try to keep to our craft. So I could also see, just the culture change, like not the culture, but just like, yeah, the culture of the gym is different, I could see that too. But I do think Leon knocked his ass out. And by the way, I'm not a big Ian Garry fan.
I will say this. You do need a camp fit based off your personality. I'm not telling Ian Garry to change in any way if that's how you live your life as a fighter. Like you do, no issue with that. But you got to understand camps aren't always going to be as welcoming to that type of lifestyle.
There's different cultures at every camp's a different culture.
Yeah, every camp's a different culture, and you just got to find one that fits you. I think the perfect case for that was Sean Strickland. Was able to find his camp, and they work with him because, like, I promise you, if Sean Strickland would have went to any other camp, they probably would have kicked him out within the first 2 weeks. But found something that worked for him, worked great. Ian Garry, I feel like, is kind of in the same boat, and he's a very outgoing, hard on his sleeve kind of guy, or at least how he presents himself. So obviously he's going to be very vocal about anything that happens. And
he did take his wife's name.
I'm not going to comment on that. Anyway, yeah, I just think he's got to find something that works for him, in my opinion. But obviously at the champ's gym, whatever the champ says, champ does. Oh, speaking of which, I feel like we need to bring this up because if we just gloss over it, it'll be a waste of time. Tony Ferguson and David Goggins. Who would have thought that if any man...
I thought we talked about this last pod.
Did we?
I think we did.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, it
Real
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Go. You're
yeah,
going.
doesn't matter. Personally, I think putting a man whose mental strength was never to be questioned, whereas his physical strength was severely deteriorating, like him, and then you put him with a guy who's only going to test his mental strength by completely destroying his body, may backfire.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't think it's smart. I think everyone's like thinking it's super cool. I think it's the exact opposite of what Tony needed. I think Tony needed more rest and needed time to like let his body not die. And instead he's going way too hard. Like, dude, this guy's old, man. He's at the end of his career.
like Tony, we weren't doubting if you could or couldn't do it. Like that was never a doubt in my mind. Like, you were going to do it even if you died, like
Yeah.
in my opinion. But you're probably going to go out there and fight Patty. And if you don't win, like
He
no
has
one,
to retire, bro. He fucking has to.
win or lose, he has to retire. Well, if he wins, it's like, all right, 5 fights in a belt.
Yeah.
4 more fights in a belt. Like we know, like we know how it goes, bro. Like we will understand. But then if you lose your next one, like bro, call quits, please.
Nah, I think he's got to call it quits, dude. And it sucks because he's the kind of guy that's like, what else can he do in life outside of that? You know, it's like, what the fuck is he going to do in his day to day life to make money?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that wraps us up for our general sports discussion pod. We do have one more segment that we will bring to you, and that is our draft. Now, we are going to keep it sports related. We promised ourselves that we were going to stay on topic for sports related activities. We can joke around in the future, but while sports are happening, these are no laughing matter. So, for our draft, Grayson, would you like to introduce the topic?
I was just thinking about times where I was like, you know, a sports fan, and I'm so invested that when something happens, you know, it feels like I lost when they lose. Um, so I was like, hey Zach, what if we just did our biggest heartbreaks we've had in sports as sports fans? And Zach was like, I love the idea. And here we are.
My,
I don't know if you want to start us off.
yeah. I'll go first. My number one, it pains me to say it, but the 2007 Patriots lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. Perfect season was on the line. The David Tyree helmet catch. It was like watching a little piece of me die inside. Sadness.
My number one, I'm going Florida State, Oregon 2014 playoff round, opening round. Not only did they lose, but they lost by 40, I think, 39. So that one was
like, 53 to 20 something, maybe worse.
Yeah, it was. I think we lost by 39.
Yeah, we got our
I think it was 59 to 20.
Yeah. And in my mind, like I was so convinced that we weren't going to lose. Like even when we were down by a lot, I was like, we still got a chance. Like we can do this. And then the infamous Jameis like slip and throw the ball backwards. Like when I saw that, like just anguish consumed me. Like just sadness. I didn't want to watch football for a while. I'm just like, fuck this.
What's your number two?
I was gonna say you could get number two now. We kind of do like
there's only two of us. We don't got a snake.
Yeah. All right. My number two, also going to be an FSU moment. I was deciding between the two, but I do think this one hurt the most. Georgia Tech blocking the field goal and running it back on our homecoming night. That was my 9/11 for Florida sports. That was traumatic. That was traumatic.
Yeah, I remember I had the game on my laptop streaming while I was playing Call of Duty Zombies, and I just like literally turned my PlayStation off in the middle of the game and went to bed. And my friends are like calling me like, bro, what do you do? Bro? I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I need to just today. I lost today. Today's over. I'm gonna go one that's not a team I love, but I used to be a big Aaron Murray dick rider. I was in love with Aaron Murray. He was Tampa boy. I liked Georgia. I wasn't like not dislike Georgia. But when they lost Alabama in the SEC championship because he threw the freaking only pass that wouldn't stop the clock, I was so mad. And I also hated Alabama at this time. I was just like, I'm tired of Saban. I'm tired of Bama. Like, Aaron Murray do this, like win it for Georgia. Because if they won, they would have played Notre Dame in the championship. They'd have killed Notre Dame. And when he threw that pass and time ran out, and it was just like, I remember just, I think I might have cried. I might have cried. I don't remember if I did, but I might have cried.
Yeah. My number 3, another Patriots Super Bowl loss. 2017 when we lost to the Eagles, just because I knew Eagles fans.
Nick Foles beat you in a fucking Super Bowl.
Big Dick Nick, man. Something about Tom Brady and losing to the middest of players.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, losing to the Philly special, terrible. Losing to just the city of Philadelphia in general. I wish them nothing but terror attacks, and well, not terror attacks, but I think just very bad. Very bad days. Sorry. No one needs to die, but just I hope a guy in Philly wakes up one day and his coffee's cold and he spills it on himself on public transportation, or someone steps in a puddle and gets it on him. I don't know. Just like have a very like inconveniencing day all the time. You're hell. Like just go to hell, honestly.
My number 3, I have a bunch that I could do right now regarding MMA, but my first one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do probably gonna do when George St. Pierre won against Johnny Hendricks and then retired. I was bawling my eyes out, bro. I think I was 13. And I remember just because he got his ass beat and he should have lost the fight, but they gave it to him and then he retired right after. And I was just like, oh, and my dad was like, well, you got to find a new favorite fighter. And I was like, no. It was a rough day for the G-Fish.
Oh God, yeah, GSP. I'm trying to mix in some other sports because I've done 2 Patriots and an FSU, so I think I'll ban any more from those. My number 4. Damn.
We can just do 3.
Nah, we need 5. I can definitely think of 5. I'm just trying to think of like what was the most like influential to my sporting experience. I'm trying to think when the Red Sox made the playoffs and then lost. It was like detrimental. Oh my God. How did I forget about this? Game 162. All we had to do was beat the Orioles and the Yankees had to beat the Rays. And what happens? We get beat by the Orioles on a walk-off, and then the Rays come back down 7-0, and Evan Longoria hits the fucking home run 2 inches over the foul pole. And I was like convinced we were going to playoffs, and I just sat there just like, what happened? I was like, there's no way like both those we were playing the last place Orioles and we lost, and the Yankees were dominating that year and had a 7-run lead. I was cooling on both games. I was cooling on both games. Boom. Stripped away from me. No playoff berth.
I'm going to keep the same vibes, and I'm going to go 2008 Rays getting spanked in the World Series to the Rockies, I think, right?
No, Phillies.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they lost like 4-1. I'm pretty sure they got smacked.
They got stomped.
Yeah, and that sucks because like now when they went in like 2021 or 2020, it was cool, but like it didn't really bother me too much. But when I was like 9, it was like the most important thing of all time to me. And them losing that, and they got spanked because they were on a tear in the playoffs, and then everyone was like, "Dude, this is it." I remember Jackson Masters. He got himself a mohawk. He was so excited, and then we get ran through, and then he just has to have a mohawk for the next like 2 months. Yeah, I'll put that as my number 4.
My number 5. This one's gonna be hard because I'm trying to think about a sport that I have to do MMA, but I'm trying to think of like what MMA loss. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I had so much riding on Pereira beating Izzy. And then when I watched Pereira go to sleep live, it was electric. Don't get me wrong. That was one of the most insane things I've ever seen. But like post-fight reconciliation with the result, I was like, God damn it. Like I wanted him to win so bad just to be like I'm the fucking man. Because then knowing what we know now, if he would have beaten Izzy and gone up to
Then
205.
he'd be an actual double champ.
Yeah, like active holding 2 belts. Like, oh my God, the potential is there. The potential.
I'm
If
gonna
Pereira
go
one more
Untitled.
time, if Pereira one more time was just like, yeah, I'm going back down to 185 and I'm fighting Sean Strickland again, I would be like,
Nah, they're cool now. They're cool now.
I know they're cool, but like, bro, I could be cool with you, but like, yo, you're holding my belt. Like,
Yeah, but he doesn't want to make that cut again, dude. That cut sucked.
yeah, but to be a double champ, you'd make that cut. You'd make that cut.
If I already held the belt, I don't know.
If they told you, because you can make 4,500, but if they told you like one time, like a kid you knew you could beat, they were like, yeah, you just have to make 135 one more time.
I mean, I would, yeah, dude, it would really take a lot. It'd probably take a year off my life. Like that cut would be brutal, dude.
I'd sacrifice a year for a belt. How many years of
Yeah,
your life would you
I
sacrifice?
probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
And the
year.
money, once you touch a belt, you touch $1 million every fight.
Yeah. Especially 2 belts. You're talking 2 belt, 2 million.
Yeah, $2 million easy, boy. I need $3 million something. My last one, I'm gonna go. I think 2022 Lightning getting butt fucked by the Colorado Avalanche. Because I went the year before when they won it, and I was like, "Oh, dude, life is amazing. The Lightning are never losing. Like life is going great." And then they get killed. It wasn't first round. It was the championship.
No, it was.
Yeah, that was last year. I'm talking about 2 years ago.
When they lost to the Colorado Avalanche.
That was 2 years ago in the championship.
No, they lost to the Avalanche.
They lost to the Colorado Avalanche in the final.
I'm telling you right now,
brother. I'm telling you because I know for a fact because while we were doing the Palm Beach Nights, there was a kid on the team from Colorado and he missed a week because he flew to Colorado to go to the game.
Okay, I remember that. What I also remember is that the Lightning won the President's Trophy, and the President's Trophy, for those of you that don't know, is
Colorado won 4-2 over the Lightning in the Stanley Cup in 2022.
Okay, I was talking about the year when they won the President's
That
Trophy.
was 2019, and then they got smoked 4-0 in the opening round.
Yeah,
that one was bad too.
That should be worse.
Yeah, but I wasn't as diehard of a Lightning fan. Watching them win the Stanley Cup was what made me like so thrilled. And then, I mean, I was still a fan when that happened, but then that happened, and it was bad. But that wraps us up. Honestly, great pod, great time. Any last words, Zach? Oh, I'm cramping in my neck.
Let me leave you with a quote. I believe I already said this quote, but I heard it in a different context and it was just even funnier. But a Chinese proverb. It was something along the lines of like, you can't polish a ruby without wearing it down. And it's like men are created the same way. So like if you want to improve, you have to sacrifice. You have to wear yourself down if you want to improve.
I got one.
Go for it.
A blade does not become strong until it's been through the fire.
That reminds me of Teddy Atlas, the boxing coach.
Yeah. We're firemen.
We're firemen.
Love the fire.
We're not scared of the fire. We live in it.
That shit's hard as fuck.
Yeah. By the way, if I was ever in a corner, I don't care if I'm literally seeing God. If my coach is like screaming that in my face, I would immediately just like stand up. Like,
yeah, dude, I would get through. We don't, Kaizen, we don't sit. Vince doesn't even bring. Yeah, I mean, you were in my corner.
I cornered you for
a fight. But we don't sit, and I like that. I think it's a mental for them and for you. I think that the mental for you, it's like I'm good. Your legs don't get tired; they stay loose. You can breathe, open your diaphragm, and you're like, and it makes you feel like, yeah, fuck him, I'm still good. And then he looks over, he's gassed, like, holy shit, this motherfucker's standing.
I think my favorite moment was it was Max Holloway and someone else. And Max went to go take a seat, and the guy stood up and walked forward, and Max like saw that he did that, and he
it was Dustin Poirier. Yeah, it was Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, him and Dustin, they looked at each other, and they're like, Max was like, okay. He's like, we can dance. He's like, I'm ready.
That shit's hard as fuck. But yeah, episode 112. Zach Watts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.